To the Bite Size Podcast, the show where we delve into bite-sized topics in big ways or big topics
in bite-sized ways.
Oh yeah.
Either way, this week, guys, we are live on YouTube
and Twitch. Oh yeah.
So feel free to check us out on both platforms if you prefer one over the other.
Then there's definitely an option there for you.
Definitely. And also, there are options if you don't want to see our ugly mugs and you just want to hear our voices.
Oh, yeah. And we are officially on every podcast platform there is, other than SoundCloud, because we should be on there soon, hopefully, but I got to do each of those individually, whereas otherwise it uploads to everything else. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for watching.
My buddy Ryan Nash says, first viewer, bitches. Yeah, I was going to say, you do know you can comment on YouTube, so everybody can see what you're saying. That'd be cool.
Now we've got 2 viewers, so second viewer, bitches.
Woo! Second viewer, bitches. My mans.
Yeah.
Ryan is actually a good friend of mine from when I lived in Georgia about 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago.
Really?
A really long time ago. We were really good friends. Ryan is an excellent guitar player.
Huh. I just got my guitar restrung. We were working on some music earlier.
Yeah.
There's actually 2 different songs that we were kind of messing with, and hopefully those will come out on one of these Fridays or something, if we can get it all recorded and everything, which should be easier because on Monday I start going back to school, St. Francis, and we can use their studios and their equipment a little bit, so hopefully that even helps with the quality of the Bite Size Podcast. What's up, Cam? How's it going? Thanks for watching episode 6 of the Bite Size Podcast.
Yeah. And to start off this week, guys, we will start off with a shout out. If you're listening to the podcast on any audio version of the podcast, you will hear an intro song. That intro song is by a artist we know of who has asked us to give him a shout out by the name of Killjoy.
Oh yeah, Killjoy is great.
If you like EDM,
you can check out
music,
the audio version on any of the podcast sources to hear a little bit of that for our intro music, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. You can check him out. We are gonna try and get him on the show, actually.
Yeah.
So
and it's at Killjoy Official on just about everything: Instagram, YouTube, Killjoy Official. Check him out. KYLL Joy.
Yes.
One word. Just so you guys know. Yeah, check him out. Feel free to let him know that you learned about him through the podcast. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So he knows we're out here giving him some love. That'd be alright.
I like it already. Well, thanks. We like having you here, and hopefully you guys enjoy episode 6 of the Bite Size Podcast. Will you unlock that real quick? I think we should start today with a quote, but we didn't prepare one. Becca Williams says, "Beefy Crunch." And if you know me, that's because I actually have a tattoo of the Beefy Crunch burrito from Taco Bell.
May I just say, 4 viewers live is the most viewers we've ever had on the Bite Size Podcast.
Watching it once?
Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, all at once.
And so, we went down to 3.
4.
All right, welcome back. You proved us a liar for a second there, but thanks for coming
We were
back.
just boasting about number 4, and then he left.
Yeah.
Or she. Sorry. So it could be one.
Maybe we'll hit 5. That's going to be like a record.
Yeah.
Little Tender. Yep.
So it's Ryan who keeps going in and out, I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
What kind of quote should we start off with this week?
I don't know. Last time we typed in friendship quotes, I think. Since we got 5. There's the record. Thanks for watching, guys.
New record, 5 people. If you were watching, please let us know you're watching. Leave a comment. That'd be dope. So we could talk to you live, which is even cooler. Instead of,
Let me see.
Shit.
Friendship
quotes. We doing another one?
Yeah.
We like friendship quotes because we are very good friends. And Ryan's watching this week, so that's another good friend. Friends.
Plus, we may become friends with Killjoy if he joins this podcast with us. And in this world, you either crank that Soulja Boy or it cranks you.
That's a great
That is-
quote,
wow.
Ryan, but I don't think we'll be using that one this week.
I think maybe we should. I mean, you crank that Soldier Boy. That speaks to me, especially when Usher sang that. That's really, or Drake. I mean, isn't that meme? Drake said when Drake said crank that Soldier Boy. It really spoke to me.
No, because Drake didn't make that song.
I think that was a meme that was going around. Okay, here we go. Walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking alone in the light. What do you think about that?
It's kind of deep.
It is pretty deep. I think walking with a friend in the dark is like a
It means I think it's going
no
along.
no matter what good or bad is going on in your life, if you've got someone there to be a friend and help you through it, then it's better than being alone in the light. I mean,
Yeah, it's better to
Granted,
have a
it's in the
friend
dark
through
time.
the rough times than not have any friends in the good ones.
yeah, I mean friendship's a good thing. So, but you know what the funny part is? It says walking with a friend in the dark, and this quote was written by Helen Keller. So she was kind of
She
always
was
walking with
constantly
people in the dark. Yeah, so to her, all of her friends, she walked with them in the dark. So, deeper than the void. Oh, what's up, Lily? Glad to have you here. She must be number 5.
Yeah. She's probably with Becca.
Maybe,
They're just watching
yeah.
on separate phones.
6. Oh wow, we appreciate everyone who's watching.
6 is definitely a new record for sure.
Yeah.
All at one time. Hey, slow down, guys.
Wow. Okay, let's start the topics though, because I definitely got a good one that I wanted to talk about, and I posted something on Facebook. I don't know if you read it, but basically, there's police battling. Well, not really battling, but prisoners are protesting being sent to prison without any chance of ever getting out, and they're working and getting paid $1 an hour. Like people were fighting the wildfires in California, getting paid $1 a day and $2, or $1 an hour and $2 a day. So, you know, that's not much money at all. They're basically saying it's slave labor, and being imprisoned with no chance of ever rehabilitating themselves is like inhumane. I mean, what do you think about that? I feel like, especially when prisons are holding people who did nonviolent drug crimes and things that like don't affect their ability to work. Prisons also said that it's a privilege for prisoners to work. When I don't think it should be a privilege. I think, especially if you're paying them $1 an hour and $2
Well, to be
a
honest,
day.
I'd rather be locked up and making a little bit of money than be locked up and not doing anything at all.
Right. The way I see it, you
As
should
far as that
either...
goes, the prisoners are getting out of the prison. They are making money. So yeah, I would say it's sort of a privilege.
It's a privilege, but I think it should be a right somewhat. Because, to me...
I mean, the prisoners get a choice. They can choose whether or not they want to go out there.
Yes, that's true.
So
But
why they're boycotting when they're choosing to do it themselves doesn't make any sense to me, really.
well, they still get paid fairly, shouldn't they? Everybody wants to make
Yeah,
some
it's
money.
dangerous.
If you're going to be there, you might as well be making some
Well,
money more than nothing.
From the perspective of someone who's been to jail, $1 an hour and $2 a day can go pretty far on a commissary sheet.
That is true. But once you
For
get
the
out,
outside world, yes,
it
that'd be a
doesn't amount
shitty,
to much.
That would be a shitty fucking employer.
They
if
could
you got
raise the
$1 an hour
prices
and
of
$2
things
a
in
day.
jail,
They could.
and I think they should. The prisons have basically said that they can't afford to do it because it costs $80,000 per person a year to hold somebody, and yet there's still profit prisons, like for-profit prisons that are in business. And 7, there we go. One by one. Thank you guys. But why is there for-profit prisons? That alone bothers me. Let alone holding people who are just too poor to pay bail but innocent, and people who did non-violent drug charges. If someone's carrying around some weed for themselves before it was legal.
I'm
They
just
could
saying, from
end
my
up-
point of view, it's not like they're being forced to do it for that much. They were asked if they wanted to, and they said yes. So therefore, the people doing it should not be bitching about how much they're making because it was their choice to do it for that much amount of money in the first place.
Isn't that a bit monopolistic though? I mean, if they can basically say no job or one job where you get paid shit, wouldn't it be better for them to have options? You know, if
There are plenty of options.
I mean, it isn't the only options either make $1 an hour doing this job or do no job and just sit in your cell all day.
Well, no, you can work in the prison as a trustee, which you would be working for the other prisoners, like making their lunches and their dinners and handing them out, stuff like that, and they give you the same thing. Or
But
it even adds up to, like, you work 1 week, it takes a day off your sentence.
well, those are nice, but
So, yeah, there are options.
they could make them do it for nothing. They could, but I mean, the prisoners are saying that that's inhumane. They're treating them like slaves because they're.
My thing is they should
Some
not
of them actually do have to work.
Boom, 8 viewers.
Wow.
That is, like,
This is why we are doing it live. Maybe
Four-
I should not do it on Twitch because
4 times as many as any week.
that is slavery. I agree.
It's not slavery if they
It-
chose to do it.
No,
It's slavery if they made him. do
Becca
it.
was saying it's slavery to force them to do it and not pay them.
Yeah, so as of right now, no,
But they
it's
did
not
have-
slavery. No, I do not think they should chalk it up as
They
slavery
did have chain
because
gangs
they have
though.
a choice. How long ago? When there were
Recently,
actual
they had chain
slaves.
gangs in Arizona when I first moved out there.
Yeah,
And
and
the
those
inmates had
people
to wear
chose to
pink
go out there
underwear.
too.
They chose to go out there, but they didn't choose to get caught and be part of a chain gang having to work. And
They knew they were going to be in a chain gang working, yes. Those people chose to go out there and work in the chain gang to make money because maybe somebody's not sending them money for commissary. Maybe they have to do that so that they have extra shit every week on commissary. I'm just saying, from the perspective of someone who's been locked up, it's an option. I would have done it if I could have. Yes. First, A,
Okay.
I get out. B, I am making some sort of money instead of just sitting around
wouldn't
in
it
a
have
fucking
been
cell
better if you
24
could have
hours a
made
day.
more money though?
Well, yeah, if I wanted to make more money, I wouldn't have gone to fucking prison.
But you didn't have a choice. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you had a choice to not do a crime, but some people don't. Like I said, some people are innocent, and they still have to work for no money, and it's not helping them pay bail. Do you think that people who haven't been sentenced yet and just can't pay bail should get paid fairly still? That way they can afford the bail? Or
As for people who don't get sentenced and haven't paid bail yet, they aren't allowed to leave the prison. Like, they don't even give those people the options. Until you're sentenced, they won't give you the option to work or anything.
or if you're sentenced to a term with early release upon.
Yeah, like, I was only doing 30 days. There was no need for me to do anything. You know what I mean? No
Yeah.
need for me to be a trustee and help hand out food or help make food or anything like that. And as far as sentencing goes, you could fucking go work a week and then be sentenced and be innocent.
Yeah.
So why would they do that? It'd just be a waste. You know what
But
I'm
if the prisoner chooses to do
saying?
that,
No, the prison will not let anyone who has not been sentenced do anything extra other than sit in their cell and the usual things that you do in prison.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's a touchy topic.
And
I
also to
guess. It's-
clarify, I've not been to prison, I've been to jail. There's a very large difference.
Yeah.
And
And this is
I've heard
mostly
it's
with
worse in prison,
prisons.
so I'm sure people in
Yeah.
prison love to get out and work for $1 a day. I'm sure there's some prisons where they're doing that to people and
Well,
they're like, oh man,
they
this
don't
sucks.
love it because they're
Whereas other
protesting it
prisons
right
are
now.
like, why are you
They're
complaining, you lucky bastards?
They're just striking though. They're like, we're not going to work if you're not going to pay us fairly. But the prison needs people to work, you know,
Yeah.
because they need to take care of things for the other prisoners.
Well, that's
and
what
like
the
you
prisoners
said,
felt they needed to do, so they're going to do it.
do you think that the prison should pay them fairly, or do you think that the prisoner should just be happy to be getting $1 a day?
That's what I said.
You
I
do think that they
just
should
be
just
happy
be
with
happy
what
to
they're
be able to
getting
get
because they chose to do it. It's not, like I said, they're not forcing them to do it. So why are they complaining about it when they're
Okay,
doing it
well-
on their own free will?
can we take a step back and what do you think about the for-profit prisons? Do you think that that's okay? Do you think that it's
What do you mean for-profit prisons?
there's prisons that the state runs and they're not to make profit. They just put the money back in to make sure everything's taken care of. And there's other prisons where somebody started it so that they could make money and they profit off people paying the fees and getting out on the bail and like somebody's
It's just another business
getting
idea. I
wealthy
think
from
whoever
there.
opened a for-profit prison is probably a fucking genius. Because if there's one thing that'll never go out of business, criminals.
Yeah,
That's just fucking genius to me. I don't know.
Do you believe in rehabilitation though? I mean, I feel like
Obviously, you're doing something to withhold the prison. They're doing what they need to have that prison, but they're also doing a little something to make their own money. Why is that a
Yeah.
bad thing? It's
I
not
don't
like
know.
they're neglecting the prison to make their own money. You know what I mean? They're taking care of the prison and making their own money. So it shouldn't matter. They're still taking care of all the prisoners, but they're making their own money. Who cares?
but the fees could be a lot less
Why would you open
if
something
they
if you're not
weren't
gonna
worried
make money?
about making money.
I'm just saying, I would never open a non-profit because making money is what Americans do. It's what we like to do, and therefore somebody found a way to make money off of one thing that will never run out. Criminals.
I just feel for the people who can't pay though. Even once you get out, you usually have to pay money, and it's like you're not making any money while you're in there. So
If you do your whole
Once you get out,
sentence,
you
you don't
don't
have to
have-
pay fines. You're off paper. If
you
do
can
the
still
full
have to pay
sentence.
fines, especially if you get multiple charges and you get sentenced fines for one and you get sentenced to prison for another one.
But if you get fined after you did your time, you probably did something.
Well, it would be in the
Worth
same
being
sentence.
fined.
Like if you killed somebody and mugged them, I mean, you may owe the family the money that you stole from them or something. Or, I mean, if they were like depositing a check for their company, then you would owe the company that much money plus you'd have to serve your time for killing somebody.
Yeah.
So,
What do the people in the comments think? I haven't been reading comments. I've been looking at you mostly this whole time, just talking to you. So.
yeah, let's see. This sounds an awful lot like slavery. They also get fed 3 times a day and get all of the other necessities that they need, including medical coverage.
Okay, there you go. My mom's trying to say they may make so little amount of money, but the people on the outside making so much money have to pay for all those other things. 3 meals a day, rent, electric, water. That's why they're making so much money. Whereas in prison, you get all that shit for free. All you have to make extra money for is extra things.
I guess so, man.
Which is also a very good point.
I just feel like if I was the guy running a prison,
I'm saying,
I would.
if all of America got free rent, free utilities, stuff like that, and all they had to pay for was
In
whatever
prison,
extra
though.
they had to make, minimum wage would be $1 an hour and $2 a day.
You're not in prison saying, "Thank God I got a roof over my head." Most of the time, you're thinking, "I'd rather be in the roof
A lot
over
of
my
people
head."
are. A lot of people were homeless on drugs. They got caught doing drugs, then they got drugged to prison.
And it's
Therefore,
different
they
for
are
those
thankful
people.
to be in there and
But-
are thankful to make $2 a day and $1 an hour.
But what if you're not one of those people? What if you're somebody who?
But look at it like the way I said. If everything else was free, bills were free, right?
Yes,
All you had to pay for was
fair.
extra shit.
Fair.
Minimum wage would only be $2 a day and $1 an hour, and it would work.
I think it would still be higher than that because of the way things cost, and you still got to buy things. Even entertainment things.
You,
You know,
gotta think 40 hours a week at $1 or at $2 a day and $1 an hour. That's $60 a fucking week, or $45, $50 a week, which isn't bad for all the extra shit.
after taxes and stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If
I
if
have
you
a hard
had to
time with
only
it.
pay for all the extra stuff,
Hear me out for a
$50 a
second.
week would
though.
not be bad.
Hear me out for a second, though. If you were raised in Chicago and you got involved in gang violence and you felt pressure all around you to get into a gang and you ended up killing somebody and went
This
to
is
prison.
looking like more one of those episodes where it's a big topic, bite-sized conversation. Because we were going on 20 minutes on this one topic.
Yeah. Oh man, sorry. hopefully
But
you guys
it's a
are
good topic.
enjoying
Evidently,
this.
we feel passionate about this one this week.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot more viewers this week, which is pretty good.
Yeah, thanks, guys. If they got paid more than that, we would have people committing crimes to go to prison for the benefits. That is a good argument, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, if you're making minimum wage in prison, why wouldn't you go? You get free meals and minimum wage?
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it that
But-
way, too.
I think it's different if you're working for the prison, maybe.
Yeah,
Then
they
it
hire
is
it, and
if-
homeless people are going to be like, I'm going to go jaywalk. so
I know
go
some
to
people
prison."
make like 10 cents an hour. The people who are making $2 an hour plus, or no, $1 an hour plus $2 a day, they are fighting the California wildfires. And that's something we need. If we could get all the prisoners doing that, then it wouldn't be a problem.
And we'd be broke.
And they'd be
Paying
Doing
that
good
minimum
stuff.
wage.
That's true. The national debt is very high, but when there's for-profit prisons that some CEO is taking home $100,000 a year, he could take $50,000 a year, lives great still, and be doing a lot of good. Like I was saying, if you were raised in Chicago and got into a gang, killed somebody, and you were in prison and you were just like, I didn't want this life. I didn't ask for this. I went down a bad road, and you would want to be able to get out. Do you at least understand the protests for them wanting to have a chance to get out eventually?
Yeah, that makes sense. If your crime wasn't bad enough, yeah, I can see why you would want to get out. I wouldn't want to be stuck in prison for fucking years and years and years and never have the chance to get out if they caught me with a bag of pot.
Right.
Like, if they caught me with a bag of pot and sent me to prison for the rest of my life, yeah, I'd be fucking pissed.
Exactly.
There's people out here who are molesting little children and murdering people, and I'm getting
And
the
they're
same
not getting
sentence
that,
for
yeah.
a bag of pot. Yeah, that'd be shitty.
Or you could be the guy from Stanford who basically raped a chick and then got 6 months and only served half of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then his lawyer tried saying that he was
But I'm in
trying to
here
do
for
outer
12.
course
But I'm
instead
in
of
here
inner
for 12
course.
months because I had a fucking quarter of weed in my pocket, and they pulled me over.
Yeah.
And I have to do the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be shitty,
That's
of
not
course.
fair. And the protests were mostly just about life with no chance of getting out, but
Yeah.
it's, man, I
Some
can
people
see
don't.
both sides. It's
Some
tough.
people don't deserve life, some people do. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that part, yes. The whole making money while you're in prison, at least you're making fucking money, why complain about it?
Yeah, I mean
You could
it's
be
good
just
to make
sitting
money.
there bored off your fucking ass all day, 24 hours a day, 30 days a week, or 30 days a month. Trust me, that's not fun. I would have rather went and made $1 an hour fighting fires.
Yeah, and that's something you don't get to do every day. I guess if I was in prison and got to be a firefighter, I'd be like,
Right.
hell yeah!
When do you get that
Like,
option?
Yeah, and let alone get paid. There's people who are volunteer firefighters, so that's kind of cool. But I just think I don't like CEOs in general for the most part. Like the guy who owns Goodwill, he gets everything donated to him and sells it for crazy prices, and then takes home hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. This guy's a
But how much
millionaire.
does
He
he-
lives in a mansion.
How
And
much does he give to charity?
it doesn't matter. I mean,
I mean, if he gives a large percentage of it to charity,
like, he could charge so much less or pay his people
I mean,
more than
Goodwill's-
minimum wage.
Goodwill's making a lot of money, dude. He can give 80% of it to charity and still be a fucking millionaire.
Even if he does, I just think it's more fair to pay every employee through Goodwill an extra 50 cents and him make 10% less, And if he can, or if he hires twice as
But
many
then
people.
again, those employees didn't come up with the idea for Goodwill, didn't put in the effort to build Goodwill to where it's at. Therefore, this guy deserves the money he gets.
He doesn't buy any of his product though; it's all free to him. The only thing he pays for is
Yeah, and
the
going back
buildings.
to the whole business and being a genius thing, that's fucking genius.
It's not
Is
fair
it,
though.
To him, it is. If you could make a business making money and everybody else
Goodwill
wasn't-
CEO profits $2.3 million every year.
Okay.
He gets everything for free and makes $2.3 million a year, and there's people starving on the streets. to me, it just seems like so much is going to waste. These people could be getting free stuff if they need it. Instead, he's charging $50 for a broken fridge.
Yeah, I think Goodwill's not the only thrift store out there either.
It's not, but it's the most profitable one.
Okay, so how is it? I still don't understand why you're saying this guy is such a bad guy. Because he's smart and he knows how to make money off of things that other people don't want.
I don't
He's
think
a bad guy because he's a
doing
freaking
enough good.
genius. You don't think he's doing enough good?
Instead of
Yeah,
giving
we
his
know
stuff
all the
to
good
Goodwill.
stats. Like, yeah, he made $2 to $3 million a year on profit, but that doesn't say how much he gave back that year.
Fair, but it's
You're looking at
mostly
all
his
the bad
company
sides, saying
giving
he's a
back,
bad guy.
I'm sure.
But I'm sure if you looked at all the good sides, you'd be like, well, maybe he's not that bad.
I'm sure he's personally not a terrible guy, but if you're making that much, you can give back a lot more. It's goodwill. Like Salvation Army does the same
Well, if
thing.
he's already
And the
giving up
CEO
80%
makes
of it to charity, why
like
would he
a
want to give the
quarter
other
of that.
20% and be broke himself?
I just
the point
I
is,
wouldn't
he
be
started the business to
that
make
way.
money. He's making money, and now people are mad at him for it.
He's succeeding, but I think he's going about it the wrong way. I don't think my conscience would let me do that.
Okay, but you can also look at it this way too. Would you rather people donate all their shit to Goodwill for free, or put it in the landfill and have the world go to shit?
But you said Goodwill's not the only thrift store out there. There's other
Also
thrift
true.
stores that are going out of business. I mean, I don't even agree with Walmart's coming into these small towns and running all the local businesses out of business. Because then it's the whole world is
I mean,
just
don't get me wrong. Good local
Walmart's
business
and-
is good local business. But if that local business would have come up with an idea like Goodwill, they wouldn't have gone out of business. So therefore, yes, the guy in Goodwill is a genius. No, he's not a bad person. He makes money. Who cares?
We will have to agree to disagree here. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I can see a little bit on both sides, but at the end of the day, looking at it from my perspective,
I'm just saying you're making him out to be a really bad guy because he makes money off of other people's trash.
Yeah. I guess that's exactly what he does. But
somebody wants it, and he figured that out, and he put it out there for somebody else to want and to get. So therefore, yes, he's a genius.
okay. Well, did you have any other topics today?
I mean, we're almost at 30 minutes, so probably
Yeah,
just be useless.
Yeah, I don't know how much more we have to add to that conversation, but we are disagreeing. Maybe lacks morals. I mean, James will probably
But then again,
disagree with
if
that.
he's
but
donating 80%, keeping 20%, that's not really a lack of morals either. He's giving a majority of the money away, and just because he's making
I don't
so
know if
much,
it's 80-20 though. It
I
could
know,
be-
but I'm saying if so, I doubt he's keeping 100% of the profits.
You don't know if he donates anything. I don't know. We really don't know, but maybe I'm a bad person because James is assuming that he donates money and he's giving 80% and taking 20%, whereas I'm assuming
That he's
That
just keeping
it's
100%.
like, well, at least like 60% he keeps. Or at least 50-50. I don't know.
But I'm
Either way,
saying,
I'm assuming
don't
that he's
judge him
not
and
giving a
call
lot.
him a bad person
So
unless you know all the
Maybe
facts.
I'm a bad person in this argument.
Like I said earlier, you're looking at all the bad things and not knowing any of the good things and calling him a bad person.
Yeah, I guess it's something to look into more, but just from what I know, I'm not the biggest fan of that business model. But,
From my personal view, I think he's a genius. So
well, man,
somebody had to. do it.
it's better to walk with the Goodwill owner in the light than it is to be in the dark without a Goodwill.
I think you got that backwards.
I think Helen Keller said that.
All
All right, thanks for
sure
watching, guys.
It's been another bite-sized podcast, episode 6. Not very bite-sized topics this week. More of a
More of a large topic that we're
and-
covering in a bite-sized way.
Yeah.
In 2 topics. We kind of went off on a bite-sized tangent with all of that Goodwill stuff. But
Also, we hit a record of 8 people
8,
watching
wow,
at one
and
time.
3 likes. That's I think a record as well. I don't know how many views total this has, but our record is 39.
Thank you if you watched all the way through. That's awesome. Let us know if you enjoyed it.
And if you're listening right now, on a podcast, maybe like snack size. Yeah, this was more like the value pack with a lot of little snacks in it. See you next week if I remember this.
You didn't even remember this week. I had to tell you.
If you're listening though, whatever podcast source you're using to listen to this, leave a review because that helps us out a lot. It helps us be featured on these podcast platforms. It helps us be recommended to people. So that's how we grow. That's how this continues happening. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit subscribe, hit like.
Check out Killjoy.
Thanks for being here.
Killjoy.
Killjoy.
On Instagram,
We're on Twitch.
YouTube, Facebook.
You know, all that crap that YouTubers and podcasters say.
We are
it's
live
all
on
just,
YouTube on my phone, which is above Zachary's phone.
And then
live
Twitch on the bottom.
On Zachary's phone,
Maybe
which is
next
on the
week
bottom.
we'll switch it up. Maybe you should go watch on Twitch. Most of my live streams are going to be moving to Twitch. Also, we're going to be doing a video soon of the... we talked about this.
Yeah.
The jelly beans where one of
Bean
them
Boozled.
is... Bean Boozled, that's what it's called.
The Bean
Where
Boozled
one of them is a
Showers.
normal flavor and the other one's like a gross flavor and they look the same.
Yeah.
So that video will hopefully be up before too long and hopefully you guys enjoy that. Thanks for watching Lily and Becca and Ryan
and Mickey
and Kim
Mom.
and Mickey and whoever else has joined us today and listening to us in the future. We will see you next bite.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. We'll bite you later.
See
That
you
sounds
later,
dirty.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, Twitch.